About 5 years ago, Texas had a contentious debate about what should go into textbooks. Well, good news, the textbooks are finally ready to arrive for the 5 million students in Texas. Well, what do they say about the Civil War and some of the history in this country? Well, history proved to be a little inconvenient, so they left out things such as the Jim Crow laws, which I thought was fairly significant in this country. There's no mention of the Ku Klux Klan at all, and the Civil War has been rewritten a little bit. It turns out they say that there were three main causes of the Civil War in this priority order: sectionalism, states' rights, and slavery. And at bare minimum, I would reverse that. Second of all, sectionalism is a slightly different way of saying states' rights. And what were the states' rights that they cared about? Oh, right, the right to have slaves. So I don't know who they think they're kidding and why they want to kid themselves. What is it that they feel so guilty about? I don't have any problem talking about the Civil War and what actually happened there, and slavery and Jim Crow laws. I'm sure a lot of you out there have no problem talking about it. That's actually what happened in this country. It doesn't mean the country's bad overall, evil overall. There's ups and downs, and we should have an honest conversation about what those are. What motivates people to be less than honest about that? That's an interesting question. Well, Republican board member Pat Hardy stated at the time of the debate that he considered slavery, quote, a side issue in the war. Really a side issue. Well, as Raw Story explains here, currently students in Texas schools are required to read Jefferson Davis's inauguration speech when he became president of the Confederate States of America. But according to the Post, they are not required to read a speech by Davis's vice president, Alexander Stephens, the cornerstone speech of 1861. That's what it was called. And it was named that because he called slavery, quote, the cornerstone of the Confederate government, while stating, quote, the great truth that the Negro is not equal to the white man. Now, if you don't agree with that, and you think that was a terrible idea for the Confederacy to betray the United States of America and commit treason against this country, and you now love America, and you think, America, freedom, love it or leave it. Well, the Confederacy literally left it. But you now are on the side of America, you would think, well, okay, let's have an honest discussion about what went wrong and why the Confederacy did what it did and why it was wrong. If you still think, well, I kind of want to cover that up because I'm not sure that they were wrong, well, then what you would do is propaganda. And that's unfortunately what we have here and what's going to be taught to 5 million students in Texas. My final judgment on right-wing education is that they're not concerned with facts. They only care about their own propaganda.